here. So everything in life has balance. When you're working, you try to balance your work life and your home life, and your home life away from work. You know, you balance your family and you balance your Lions time. And also in your club, it's the same thing. It's important that you have your seasoned veteran members and you have new members also that they can mentor. It's important that you have females and males, that you have the new voices that we are hearing about now, that you have different opinions. It's important that you have balance between your meaningful projects in your club, your service projects, and also your fundraisers. So when clubs have a balance between these things, they reach kind of an equilibrium, okay? So what happens when you have a lot of members and you don't have any meaningful projects? You get off kilter, right? And the same thing. What if you have all these projects and you don't have enough members to handle them? What do you do? So that's what we're going to talk about today. Just some resources that are available to us as Lions, okay? So we all got into Lions to do service. It's important for us to do meaningful service in our community. That's what we do. Sometimes I think we get in this loop, you know, that we don't have enough members to do our projects, or you know, we don't have any projects to entice members, so what do? It's just kind of the spin that some clubs get into. And hopefully we can talk about today some of the resources that are available to us. Your zone and your district leaders, you know, time, money, people, your manpower, that's one of your main resources that we all have. You know, when your clubs are having an issue, when they're in crisis, contact your zone chairman, contact your district governor. You know, they see your reports that should be being submitted. They know if you're not doing any service projects. They know if you're losing members. You know, they are a wonderful resource for you. Your neighboring clubs, if you are doing a project and you don't have enough members, you know, you're stuck in that teeter-totter where you got a lot of projects, not enough members, call on your neighboring members or neighboring clubs and see if they can send you some help. I know our vision screening in this area, whenever they go to the schools that has a Lion Club, they always contact them and ask them, hey, we're going to be in your town, we're screening at the school, you know, come and help us if you can. So, you know, that's a great source of your resources. Your multiple district website. How many go to the MD19 website? Everybody goes? Okay. You know, it's interesting because in my club, I'll have people ask me a question. I said, well, you know, have you looked on the multiple district website? There's so much good information there. And like, no, I'm not an officer. I can't go there. People don't understand that. They think that you just go there to submit information, you know, for your club. But that's a great site for information and resources. And then also the LCI website. You know, both of these websites have been revamped recently, and they are so good. So let's look. Know your district leaders. So most of us are from G here, some from outside, but know who your zone chairs are, and know who your district governor is. You know that guy. So here, our brand new multiple district website, and Vice Council Chair JD has been countless hours working on this. It always has some great information up front. See, the Lions Learning Farm right here. You're here today. But information about the MD19, your district, your clubs, calendar events that are coming up, a lot of good resources under Toolbox, so right up there on the top. But one thing I want to show you is right down under here. I couldn't get it all on there today. 3 steps to strengthen your membership. And this is a program that the Council Chair, John Kerry, has been working on. And 3 ways to strengthen your membership. He's doing a session on that, so we won't really get into it, but I wanted to show you that so you can go on there and look. 3 parts. He has a great video. He talks about the Lion's journey. Some different downloads that you can, your club your way, and blueprint for a stronger club. We're going to talk about that in a minute too. Recruit new members, just ask, and then also if your club wants to do an open house. So these are all downloadable PDFs that you can do right from your computer. You could also call the LCI headquarters and they will send you the brochures too. And this is a great video here. I don't know if you know past district governor David Walk out of College Place, but he will actually create a promotional video for your club. You can use it if you're doing open house or if you're doing an orientation in your club. This is a great resource for you to, to show your community what the Lions do. You send him, I don't know, half a dozen, or a couple dozen, 20 pictures or whatever, and he will actually put your club in doing service projects in your community. So it's really cool. So LCI website, everyone goes there too. So right here's your My LCI, where your officers go there and put all of your service hours and your membership information. But today we're going to be looking right here, resources for members. Okay, everybody's gone there? Everyone's looked through? Okay, so you're going to be amazed when you go on there and look how much information is on there for you to look at. So resources for members, and it comes to this type of a web page. So where we're going to be today is right here in membership development. But this was really cool for me to do this because I got to learn more about this new setup in the web pages. So they're color coded. So so downloadable, the web pages are yellow. The red ones, I think, were PDFs that you can print. Sometimes the purples are videos or other brochures, but they're really good. Just get in there and kind of poke around and look and see what all is there. So how does your club get started? Do a club assessment. And I know the Camas Lions have done a club assessment here recently. There's 3 different avenues, I guess you could say, depending on how much time you want to spend on it. And I have a couple printouts here that I'll just pass around. This first one, Club and Community Assessment Needs. This is one of those downloaded PDFs that you can do. It's just a 5-page quick little club and community assessment that you can do. It says that you probably should have 8 to 10 members when you do this in your club. It takes, they said, 1 to 2 hours. So you could do it on a Saturday morning or after a club meeting sometime. But it's pretty interesting. If you guys want to pass that around, but it talks about what are your club's strengths and challenges. What area motivates your club, specific needs of the community, what opportunities and resources will enhance their service. So just a little survey and fill it in, and then you have a facilitator that actually will compile all the information for you. So we're very fortunate in La Center because we have our mayor is one of our members. We have a couple city council member, our police chief. We have several people that work at the school. So I feel like we have a good handle on what the community needs are in our community. So that's very beneficial. But if you don't have those resources in your club, reach out. Go to City Hall, go to your schools, find out where your club could help. Now this I think is the program that the Camas Lions did, and it was led by Stephanie. She's not in here, but you can download this too. How are our ratings? An administrative guide. And then, so this tells the facilitator how exactly to work through the whole process. There's actually a survey. So here's the guide and the survey if you want to look through that. It gives you the questions for your members to ask, and then there's actually an Excel spreadsheet that someone can put all of that information in, and you'll have the information to pass down to your members. So these 3, it gets a little more progressive as far as challenge, the time you have to put into it. The first one is a little bit easier, and then as it progresses along, there's a little more information that needs to be put in. The Blueprint for a Stronger Club has the community assessment. It has the member survey. It has the action planning worksheet. Anyway, and a goal worksheet too. So I think I had one of those also. But anyway. So get started and do a community and a club assessment. So we're ready to go out and get some new members, either for our club or just increase our Lions members. Where do we start? Family members. You could look at Lioness members, Leo members, veterans. Start a club branch. Do a specialty club. So family membership we'll start with. So does everyone take advantage of the family membership in their club? Do you? Everybody does? Okay. So this was interesting for me because I knew that spouses were, included in this, but I didn't realize that all immediate family, as long as they live under the same household, is included. And so if your parents, your grandparents, aunts or uncles, children, cousins, whoever, as long as they're 18 years of age and they live in the same household, you're eligible for this. So you have one family head of household and then up to 4 members who can be under the family membership. The head of household pays the full LCI membership, and so I think it's $43 now. And then the other 4 members would pay a half of that, so $21.50. So a little bit of savings. What's interesting about all of these programs is that LCI has really tried to offer some incentives for us to bring in more members into our clubs. So here are the different facts and the requirements. So $43 and $21.50. And it talks about, all of the different, family members that can be included. And then how do you have to get certified as a family unit. And so there's a sheet that your club secretary or president has to send into LCI just to certify all of the family members. Bringing lionesses into the family. Now, do we have any prior lionesses in here? No. This was something that I didn't really know about, but I started to learn more as District Governor Mark is going around and doing his visitations. So that we have in our district 2 lioness families, and they're not supported at all by LCI. So the district governors, when they go, they don't know their projects, they don't know how many members, and they really rely on the zone chairs to kind of fill them in, what's going on and what do they do up there. So a little of the history. We all know in 1987 that women were allowed to join Lions. Well, shortly thereafter, in 1991, LCI discontinued the support of the Lioness. There's been different programs to encourage them to join Lions. So there's a Lioness Bridge program and then also a Lioness fee waiver. So the big thing, it's hard to talk to a Lioness about this, I would think, because they have a lot of pride in their club and there's a lot of history there and they don't want to give that up. But anyway, some advantages would be that they would receive credit for their prior Lioness years. If you've been a Lioness for 20 years and you join Lions, that 20 years of service still continues. You're eligible for your family membership and only pay half of the international dues. One thing that's interesting is the Lionesses could actually start their own Lions Club and use the Lioness names. For example, if it was Vancouver Lioness Club, it would be Vancouver Lioness Lions Club. So you maintain that, so that was interesting. The Lionesses could start a club branch, which we'll talk about in a minute. One advantage is that they would then have the rights as all of the other rights and privileges as the other Lions members. So they could be officers, in Lions. They could move up the ranks as far as being the district governor or beyond. They could use the Lions insurance on their projects. Okay, they would be eligible for any grants, through the Lions Club International too. Does anybody have any comments, or I should have said that. If anybody has anything they'd like to say or share, please, speak up and we'll, go on. So Club Branch, the Cascadia Lions here actually started out as a club branch. So the club branch allows 5 members to start the club branch. They have a parent club, a sponsoring club that can kind of guide them. The Center Lions were the parent club here for the Cascadia Lions, and once they reach that 20 member, then they can convert over to a Lions Club and have charter, is what I'm trying to say. Then they could be chartered as a Lions Club. But it's a nice way to have someone or a group of people who want to get going doing service in their community, and they don't have that 20 members that's required to start a club. A Specialty Lions Club. This is a Lions Club that is formed around a group of people who all share a common interest. And there's endless possibilities here. Examples that they gave on the literature were some common interest clubs, similar experiences, hobbies, cultural connections. I know in Walla Walla, near David and Crystal Walk's area, they started a Hispanic American club, and that was just recently they chartered that. So an ethnic club, yeah.
In our district, we just had an eco club start up.
Sweet.
And they won't have meetings, they just go out and do service projects.
Nice. So You know, if you're into athletics, you could have a walkers, a runners, a golfers club, a tennis club. I mean, educators, young entrepreneurs. They're just anything where, you know, 20 people have a similar interest, you could form a club. If you did not have the 20 people, you could start a club branch with the idea of going to this specialty club. So there's ways where you could get started and then continue on so you could charter your club. Campus Lions Club, kind of the same thing. You have a community of young adults at a college, a learning institution, and they want to do service projects around their campus or in their immediate community. It's a great way to do this. If they're under 30, there's a student member program. They're given a discounted rate, once again. I think it's take advantage of half of the international dues. And then over age 30, they're given a $10 discount on their entrance fee when they join. So I guess they figure when you're 30, you've got your stuff together a little bit more and you're able to pay for the higher rate there. Involve a Veteran program. One of our clubs in the area, the North Clark County Club, has recently taken advantage of this program. You heard about the gentleman who won the trip to Maui. He was a member of this the North Clark County Club, and they had he had 9 members, I guess, that were veterans. And so, I mean, it's a really neat program, and about having veterans come into your clubs, they have a lot of leadership experience, they are very organized, and so they could really be a good addition. One thing about when you bring any new members into your club is going to change. You know, the culture, you get a culture in your club, you have the same members, and you bring a new group in, your culture is going to change some. So my club, my way, if your club is one that, you know, prefers not to say the Pledge of Allegiance, that may not sit well with veterans. That's going to be really important for them, you know, be very patriotic. So, you know, definitely think about that, how your club is going to change when you want to bring one of these groups in. Same thing with the family club. If you're asking a lot of young mothers with children to join your club, you know, how's that going to change the dynamics of your club there too? If there's a lot of kids, you have members who can't hear very well, you have to have a plan for, you know, what are you going to do with those kids? Are you going to have a cub program for them? So really think about that when you're getting your new members. And you don't want to lose members because you brought in a new group, you know, so. Leo to Lion program. I didn't realize that there is actually a Leo Lion. It's a new designation. So the current or former Leos between the age of 18 to 30, they had to have been at least a Leo for 1 year. But they can join this new designation, a Leo Lions membership type, which is pretty cool. So they give them some type of incentives also. They have a discount in their rate, and then also if they do charter, there's a no charter fee. So kind of a neat program. That would be an excellent one here or for any club or school that had Leo programs. Yeah.
I was going to say, we picked up 3 Lions from that. We have 4 Leo clubs.
Yeah.
And what we do is we pay their dues for the first year.
Yeah.
So we might do it for 7 years. So it just brings them in there, gets them started, and one's really taken off. So
yeah,
that real well.
It's a great transition. But you know, here when they're already used to doing service and then they're going off to school, I mean, they could start a campus club or they could, you know, start a Leo Lions club. And you know, with the Leo Lions program, if they're all under 30, they would be more with their peers, you know, similar in age. So it might be a cool option for them. Meaningful projects, we'll move on to that next, but does anyone have any comments or, yeah, Frank?
I think the way we're doing with membership now, projects should lead into membership. I don't think, because that's the way we invite them into a project, they feel, they have ownership in it, they have a passion about it, and then, I don't talk to Sharon Sykes, but one of the clubs overseas, what they do is they invite them, people to the project, and then they have an email address. So we'll let you know when another project comes up. And then the second time, if you want to go again, and by the third time, they start asking questions about that. And then you talk about membership later on. You might have an open house later on with those people, but and those are the people that will be planted and stay with you because they have something that they feel passionate about.
That's right. We always say that too in our club, invite them to a project. Sometimes the meetings are a little overwhelming, and some traditions that are a little odd to people who aren't used to Lions. And so, our tail twister and some of the funny little, traditions that we do that I think might, if you didn't understand the background, might be a little off-turning to people. But if they enjoy doing service, invite them to a service project. So, now, has anyone else had any experience bringing in, a specialty group or someone from the community into your club? Were you able to, your family members or veterans or anything? Does anyone have anything to share? No? Okay.
It's worked for us so far.
Yeah.
And we had on the other side, my wife was working with somebody, she did an article in the paper, brought people in. This guy showed up one time, he showed up in a tie. One of our members offhanded, I see your tie, we'll cut it off for you. One of those type of things.
Yeah.
Never saw him again.
Yeah.
Would have been an excellent member. He knew about it. My wife thought he was interested in it, but the tradition or something, people coming in.
Yeah.
But he came from work, and it's a new thing.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful when you
do.
Sit down with members. Hey, if you're going to invite people in, if you're going to do a membership open house or something, everybody's got to be receptive to it.
That's right.
No sanctified seats and things like that.
That's right. Let's see if I have any other things also. I'll just I have a couple other things I can kind of pass around here too. I think this is on the branch and Lioness. There we go. Okay. So, meaningful projects. So you have your members now. You've recruited some, and what are we going to do? We need some meaningful projects, and hopefully they're bringing some with you. I don't know if you remember back when we looked at the LCI webpage there. Up on top there was one of the other tabs that said service, and when you click on that, it will bring a drop down to our 5 global causes. Everybody knows your diabetes, your vision, your hunger, your environment, and your childhood cancer. So there's a page for all of those, and they've taken it down now, but there was on each one of those 25 meaningful projects that you can do. I think they're just doing some revamping, and hopefully they'll come back, but District Governor Mark had saved them, and so I am going to, if you can, I had a little something to write down, maybe write down your emails, and I will send them. I don't know where my book went. Oh, here it is. Sorry.
There's supposedly one on MD19 on the conservative project.
Is there one?
There's supposed to be a list of 100, and supposedly Steve wrote it.
Okay.
Whoever.
I also have a list.
Well, these are really cool because these are all broken down by the 5 global causes, and there's 25 for each one. And how it's written in there is you discover there's a need out there, you learn about it, and then you act, you do a project. And what's cool about this is you have 3 different categories, easy, moderate, and more advanced. So there's something really for every club to do. And a lot of the beginner ones, we do already. So I know in La Center we've sponsored kids to go up to Camp Leo. That's one thing. There's interesting things about doing, a Strides walk. We had last year a Strides Zumba event at our convention. Some of our clubs sponsor and help out at the schools. A suggestion is, go to the classroom and provide them with a healthy snack for the day. So there's wonderful suggestions there. Some of them are definitely more involved. Sponsor a training program and a community health care workers, learn about screening and community support. So some of those would take a lot of planning with physicians and healthcare providers, but definitely, if you're looking for a good project, the beginner ones are an excellent place to start. But for all of them, all of the 5 global causes. So, this one, collect used eyeglasses and send them to LURC. I think most of all of our clubs do that. Volunteer to create audio recordings of books for people who are blind. That's a cool one. One of them talks about going to a school for the blind. We have one here in Vancouver. It talks about visiting a sensory display And I know at the School for the Blind, they also have that too. So there's a lot of just wonderful, great projects. Hunger, I think most of our clubs participate in Walk and Knock. A lot of the clubs go to the share house and help with the meals there. So, environment. We have our experts right here that can, Nancy can give you lots of good suggestions there. But once again, the beginner, intermediate, and advanced. And then childhood cancer. In the session earlier, Edie Brannon was in here, and she's done a lot with the childhood cancer. Last year, she one of her projects was they created birdhouses, and they took to one of the, I think it was Camp Good Times. So the kids who have cancer can go to this camp and in a safe environment, they can have their treatments and just interact with kids who are going through the same situation as they are. But they these camps welcome crafts for them to do, and then they can actually take the birdhouse home with them as a little memento. And this year, Edie, she's working on the wigs for the kids who have cancer. So a lot of great projects there. And when you get your name and your emails on there, I will forward these to you. So hopefully that's getting passed around there. But anyways, does anyone have any comments or, some, yeah, Frank?
I just talked about the childhood cancer, what we're doing in our district for 3 years. Sharon Sykes, the district governor this year, myself next year, and the following year. We partnered with Mary Bridge Children's Hospital. And we've zeroed in on a family fund where there's a lot of expenses when somebody has a child going through it. Either somebody needs to quit work, they have to live close to the hospital, all sorts of expenses. So that's what we're doing. We're doing for a 3-year project too. So.
Is it kind of like the Ronald McDonald House where they would?
Yeah, it's similar to that.
Okay.
Yeah. And Mary Bridge is doing all the fundraising for us. Just goes through them, and then we do projects. But it's all 100%. So it's 100% in, 100% out.
Nice.
So it's not like there is a. And right now, we're trying to set up something maybe later on for a couple things we can do for the kids on the boards and things.
Oh, very good. How about any other projects? Does anyone else want to share something they're doing in their club or community? Something very cool? Come on.
We're working.
You're working? Tyler, do you want to share something here?
We're working on it.
You're working on it? What's your plan?
Well, we've lost a service project last year and haven't replaced it, so we're kind of searching for something.
I know you
Particularly
had
in the fall.
You had a cool one with the books.
Yeah, Mother's Day, we handed out little tiny books for kids. I think we had about 100, and we could have given out 300.
Yeah.
So we didn't just get more books. But that was the Camas Garden Club sale.
And do you put sticker canvas lines in there so
Yeah,
that
we have right, and put a bookmark in the books also. Camas lines on it.
something to get your name out
Leslie's
there?
got all kinds of marketing slick things that he does.
Yeah, very cool.
We really need another project.
Yeah. Your beer garden.
That's the one we lost.
Oh, okay. All right. All right.
And a large portion of the club is also in a home brewing club. So that kind of suggests maybe another beer garden, but it's harder to put those on than you think.
Right. I know Mark and I went last year, and it was at a basketball event.
Yeah, that turned out not to be lucrative.
Okay.
We lost money on that.
Okay. Maybe not the right audience there with too.
Yeah, it wasn't the right audience.
Yeah. So.
Just try.
Yeah.
People come in for their kids' game and then they leave.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was an outdoor basketball, it wasn't like in a school. It was an outdoor basketball.
Yeah.
tournament.
Yeah, and it sounded good on paper, but when we got there, well, people come in with their wagons and their kids and then they leave.
Yeah.
They don't hang out and drink beer.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Live and learn, right?
Yeah.
So we could use another one.
Yeah. Now I know Ken,
Yeah.
Battleground, you're starting a new project with your resource center at the school.
Oh, yes, we are. We're starting to work with a lady that it's aimed at kids in the high school, well, the whole school system. that may be homeless, hungry, and whatnot, need support. So we're, that's going to be a major focus for our service club, right, or service part of it. And we're looking at some other things too, as far as doing some potential service work in the parks, you know, cleaning park benches and see what we can do with that. We're just finishing up one that we did with the library. That was a one-time thing pretty much, but providing some sound baffling material for the library battleground, which if you go in there right now, it's very, very echoey, and they're just real excited about it. So that should be finished up in March,
Very
or
cool.
May.
So for your resource center project, are you providing backpacks of food or for weekends?
We're, the two things that, one of the things we've more specifically taken on is they need certain things, like certain shampoos, for example. So the lady says, you know, we could give her money, but she hasn't got time to go shopping. So what's really helpful for her is if she identifies several different groups, and then a group take on, you know, that particular thing. So we're supplying them with shampoos, you know, whole bottles of shampoo. And then we also help with the clothes. They have a clothes closet there. So, you know, these clothes come in, they need to be washed and sort of sorted and whatnot. And then, you know, they're stored and handed out. And we're helping with that also. Those are kind of our two main functions. Then she's got another group that sort of is in charge of having snacks available for these kids when they come in, if they need them, you know, something that, you know, that's non-perishable and whatnot. Yeah.
I was very surprised. We were at your meeting when you talked about that, and how many of the local kids at the high school were homeless.
Yeah, no, that's
So-
surprising.
Yeah, living in their cars, some living, couch surfing basically, and some that are assigned to a family, but they have to drive them there to keep things consistent, and they're going to the same school. So it's kind of, it's heartbreaking, you know.
Yeah.
And kids are out in tents camping and all this. So thank you for doing that. That's awesome. I was surprised when they said that they didn't want the little samples, so they wanted like full bottle. I mean, you'd
Right.
think that they would just take whatever, you know, but they wanted the full size, so,
It's unusual.
yeah.
Well,
They're
these
gonna be small.
are not necessarily, I mean, they're homeless, but they're doing things like couch surfing and whatnot, so they have, most of them, I think, have access to facilities, but they need that larger, I guess, quantities, just so that they they'll always have some, where the little ones are just one or two shots.
But anyone else have a project they'd like to share? You do it? Yeah.
And we do, at Aberdeen, we do basically 3 projects. Salvation Army runs a food bank. All the volunteers at the food bank are from the Lions Club. We're there 2 days a week, about 7 hours a day. That's very important. The second one, we have a program called Bicycles from Heaven. That's where we collect bicycles from all over, as far north as Forks and on into Mason County, and as far as Elma and so forth like that. We bring those bicycles back, we take them out to the prison, Stafford Creek Prison, and they're reconditioned so they're like brand new, and we give those out every Christmas. And this last year we gave out, I think it was 167 bicycles,
That's awesome.
all like a brand new bicycle. No charge for them at all, just, tell us what you need, and we do
That's
that.
really cool.
And the third project was just been going on for about the last 8 months or so, and Mark mentioned a little earlier today that Herb Granahan and Rob Mandy are working on a vision screening process. And that's, the state of Washington mandated that every child from kindergarten through 8th grade, we have their eyes checked, I think it's 5 times in those first 8 years. And but they provided no funds for it, because you think you can imagine that. So we've gone out and we've bought a screening device, and we've got some others coming on the way. And they've screened something like a little over 5,500 students in 8 months. So they don't do any diagnosis with it. They test it and say, okay, you need to have a referral to a optometrist. for ophthalmologists. And, you know, my wife and I always fancied ourselves as pretty decent parents and knew what was going on, very involved in our children's lives. And my youngest daughter came home, and I think she was in the 4th or 5th grade. And I finally noticed that she was really struggling to see something. I said, "Can't you see that?" She says, "Yeah," she really couldn't. So we sent her to the optometrist, came back with glasses. That's the first time she ever knew that there were blades of grass. Yeah, she couldn't see that far down. I mean, that's just heart-crushing to see that.
Yeah.
So we're working on that to help alleviate that.
Well, that's awesome. That was incredible how fast you guys got that program up and going, and that was really neat. So, Nancy, do you want to share about an environment project?
Well, I'd actually like to invite everybody that Earth Day is coming up, and you may be committed to a project in your district, your town already. And if you are, but you'd like another one, we're inviting everybody that's a Lion to come to the beaches and get a car full of people or a carpool, a bunch of people, and get to a beach. And we organize, the Lions are founding members of the Washington Clean Coast Alliance. And so if you look at a little poster I have in that room over there, but basically it's just coastsavers.org. There's a big map with dots of all the places we clean. It goes all the way from Cape Disappointment up to Cape Flattery. So it's the whole coast and around the corner. But from here, we could all just go west. And the deal is that Lions clubs are international, are a big part of this plan, because we've partnered with the National Park and the state parks and the sanctuary. Grassroots Garbage Gang are another wonderful group of volunteers who do the southern beaches. And to sign up, you just go on the map and click it and kind of say to yourself, well, where do we want to go? And you go there and get your bags, and there's usually some kind of barbecue or event that happens afterwards. And if you even want to help more than that, would be to contact the people at the beach you want to go to. A lot of times they need someone to provide some kind of handed out food or some kind of handed out drinks. We need lots of photos. And I keep saying to us Lions, who keep everything we do secret pretty much, if we could just call our grandkids along with their cell phones and take all the pictures, they know how to get the pictures out of their cell phones. And if they send them to me or anybody else, that we can post them on Twitter, we can put them on Facebook, I personally make posters of everybody that does an environment project. And you can put it around your town, so that we have images of Lions doing this work, especially with a lion hat or some kind of little vest or, a nice, wonderful sweatshirt like this, or the yellow jackets like that. But something so that when you and your mob of people are there picking up trash, that somebody could tell you're a Lion. More than that, just do the work, take your pictures, and then do it next year and the next year. And the other thing is, sometimes people adopt parks in your own town or riverways and get identified with that, so that you take some ownership and you go there once a year, 3 times a year, 4 times a year. There's another beach cleanup every year, the 3rd Saturday or so in September, and it happens all around the world. The International Coastal Cleanup. Perfect fall project for a club. We often have really beautiful weather in the fall, maybe better than in the spring, but it's nice to travel to a beach at that time, and then to know that on that same weekend, all across the planet, people are picking up the beach. And you mark down what you find, and then, we have some consciousness of that globally. But,
So what is the website where you can pick a beach, and what is the date?
Coastsavers, all one word, .org. And the second one was?
The Green Day, what day is?
It's Earth Day
Earth
weekend,
Day.
Saturday, April 21st, if anyone has a calendar, I should know that off the top of my head. I also have my little cards with my
It is Easter.
email, and I'm happy to communicate with you and give you good ideas. So I'll put them right up here so you just can't walk out without seeing them. But mostly,
Why don't you just pass them around?
Yeah, just,
Oh, okay.
that'd be awesome.
I didn't want to be presumptive.
I
Yes.
show April 21st is the
Easter, yeah.
Okay, it's a Saturday.
Okay.
It's a Saturday.
Saturday before.
Yeah, it's the 20th.
Saturday before Easter,
Yep.
be 20th.
20th of April. Does anyone else have a project they'd like to share? Something they're doing in their club that's exciting and, no? Yeah,
Well,
Kathy.
I'm excited. It's not an ongoing project, but Thanksgiving and Christmas, we have been working with local restaurant, doing holiday food baskets.
Nice.
So I was out before Christmas with my cousin's son, who's a very, very big kid, very muscular, very large, carrying this huge box full of food. And so we're taking it to this elderly woman, and we're about to start up the stairs, and I just looked at him, I said, go right along the railing because you're gonna fall through those steps.
Yeah.
And so we took it upon ourselves to try to figure out how to deal with that situation, and so I think we may have figured out how to do it without even spending a dime, and it's going to get done, and that kind of thing, you know. I mean, first of all, we're taking the food there, and second of all, identifying a need, and
Right.
so we're really excited about seeing that happen.
Trying to find some more elderly that you can maybe do some little home repair.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's awesome that you could do the food and also find that other need. I know District Governor Mark and I, we've delivered food baskets before, and sometimes the conditions of the homes where people are living, it's heartbreaking, but they're so thankful to have that holiday meal and the food that you're bringing. So it's very exciting. Yes.
One of the projects that I love about Port Vancouver's club is the Santa store. So Washington Elementary School has 85% of kids with reduced or free lunch. So an inner city kind of school. And our Lions Club works all year to purchase gifts that the children at that school can select for their families, and they wrap them in their classroom, so there's a whole nother committee that does the gift wrapping.
Nice.
And to see those children be able to present their families with a gift for every member of their family is
really
really
cool.
an exciting thing for us, and
Now,
get lots of good results.
for the school, do they let you bring in snacks for the kids? You could maybe address one of the hunger, ones where you're bringing in a healthy snack to share with some of the classrooms.
That's quite
Yeah.
fun.
Apple snacks or something, whatever. Any other ideas? District Governor Mark, project would you like to share that you enjoy doing? That's maybe with one of our 5 global causes?
Projects that I like enjoying working on the Lions Learning Forum.
Yeah, there you go.
But, for here at Cascadia, they've done food drives, and they're a new club, and they've done food drives. Did you talk about this, Barb?
Well, we didn't have.
Okay, yeah, so, she can tell more about that. But they
Yeah.
also do a bicycle rodeo and campus cleanup. So again, more environmental efforts, but it doesn't have to be, too far.
Right.
It's a little bit goes a long way.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find a date, we have a bunko date, which is a fun thing.
Yes. And you also had the painting class, which was awesome. My mom and I went to that. That was cool.
And the wigs too.
The wigs too. So for a new club, you guys are doing so much. It's incredible, all the projects you have going. And the Cascadia Club started because you had a need for some coats for some kids, and went to District Governor Mark, and kind of off you went. But everybody's communities are different. I mean, you have your school, and your community really is a lot based around your kids here. Not too much out into the community, maybe the bike rodeo, but focused really on the kids here. Where the bigger inner city schools may have a larger reaching community too. So
I think our meals, how many meals? I think there's
20,
Over 20.
yeah, 28 or 29.
Yeah.
So
And so I think
that's awesome. Yeah.
They'll grow up.
Yep.
Hello, Lions.
Okay.
I think I smell a wonderful hot buffet lunch back in the main dining hall. So once you're done with your evaluations, feel free
Okay.
to walk in that door to what we call building 200.
Okay.
And enjoy lunch. We'll have a presentation over there once we get lunch underway. Anyway, just got to section 3.
Okay, so everybody, give me your email and I will send the resource material here. What it's going to look like is it will just be, let's see here. Okay, a sheet like this that has all of the different programs and then it has a link to them. You can do it this way or you can actually go to the LCI website and click your way through there. But do try to go there and look through things. And then I will also send you the project list for the 5 different causes. So, thank you everyone. Complete your surveys and thanks for coming and hopefully you got some information and some resources to reach out and get some new members. So,
Thank you, Debbie.
yeah.